Hello, good afternoon. As the Intercontinental Group of Awesome and I-95 Games plays East Texas University. We are proceeding through East Texas University, which is a Savage Worlds supplement. Imagine Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the college years with serial numbers filed off. They're currently technically in their freshman year, but things are a little different. The biggest thing that's different is that while we're using East Texas University as our campaign frame with the Degrees of Horror plot point campaign as our guide, we are using the rule set of Monster of the Week 2nd edition from Evil Hat, written by Michael Sands, because I'm a dirty hippie and these guys are nice enough to let me do that thing. We have some interesting things that are happening in this session, and I'm quite excited. But let me at the top notify you of some scheduling. If you're watching this live, this is the last game for the month of June, and we're going to go in a whole month due to scheduling and the summer and all kinds of cool stuff that are going on in everybody's personal lives. But we will not be playing Monster of the Week East Texas University again until about a week before the end of July. After that point, we should be pretty regular breaks for Gen Con and the like, but from there on standing, the hope is that we can power on through and bring the Degrees of Horror in East Texas University to a close. Then we'll move on to a different game. We've gotten 16 sessions out of this, which is like the second most games of any campaign for this group. It keeps going. Masks was the longest, right? Masks High School. I think we got like 18 out of that one, if I remember correctly. I have to go back and check the feed, but that's enough about scheduling and all of that boring stuff. Let's better pay attention here because there might be some things that are a little different than they used to be before. Let us introduce our characters. Paul. And one last thing during our break, I had the opportunity to meet Greg, one of our commenters. Greg, thank you very much for coming by. Origins Games on Demand. It was fun. It was cool to see you playing a couple tables and meeting you. So let's introduce our characters. We'll start with Alex. Alex, tell us who you're playing. Remind us of your character.
I'm Ollie, the wronged. My boyfriend was killed by a vampire, and his death was covered up by the college administration. That's the thing. And yeah, I've slowly descended into insanity with creating a giant crazy car and gaining
slowly.
Well, quite quickly. I quickly descend into a crazy vigilante.
Well, that's what
I've actually started to kind of get over the death of the meat and move on a bit with Toby.
That's right. It's been sweet. It's been neat. And it's been fun to watch our wrongs kind of grow and develop other interests besides us kill demons. Oh, speaking of demons, we might talk about that in a minute. Paul, please remind us about your character.
Well, I'm not a demon. Why was it speaking of demons? Earl's a young man with a YouTube channel who has been exploring interesting and paranormal and Fortean and cryptozoological stuff for several years, and then he wound up at college and found himself in the middle of it, and he is currently, I believe, holding a bloody knife and standing over the body of his professor.
Why, yes, he currently is. Let us move over to Julia. Jules, please remind us who you're playing.
Hi, I'm playing Jessica Nakamoto. She's the expert. She's a huge nerd, and she has learned a lot of new things in college. She joined the swim team. She enjoys frat parties, and she really likes ritual magic now. which is going very well. She's very excited about the subject, in addition to her normal college subjects of anthropology mostly. So far, her slogan has seemed to be, there is no good or bad juju, there's just juju, which is not always smart. And yes, she is getting quite the hang of college.
Indeed. I love in last session how after fussing at the group for doing rituals without her, she snapped off a ritual and banished someone out, a demon out of poor little severe Ariel Summers who had been possessed. So I guess you guys have like an open ritual kind of thing going on. Next we have Jen. Jen, remind us, who are you playing?
I am playing Tekla the Spooky. She is pretty comfortable now with her role in the math department. I think she's finally got some peers who respect her in the department. Enjoying college, not so much enjoying all of the strange things that try to kill people at this particular college, such as demons and vampires and more demons.
Ghosts and ghosts.
And ghosts, yep.
Jen, I just noticed that you have what might be an amusing t-shirt. Can you please let me see more?
How's that?
Carbivore. That is a dino eating pancakes. That is great. That's such a great shirt.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. And last but not least, Jan, please remind us, who are you playing, sir?
I am playing Derek Jones. Derek Jones, who I've been introducing so many times now as the mundane, who is getting into way too many way too much weird stuff. But I don't have to introduce him like that anymore. Derek managed to get enough experience to get into the advanced stuff, and Derek has now become, well, he has been becoming for a while, monstrous. Derek is a vampire now. It's official.
Oh shit.
So let's talk a little bit about what changes, because I think this is interesting. Not many people who I know have played Monster of the Week have played for as freaking long as we have, to where you can get.
I've never had any Apocalypse World Engine game where I actually managed to get to the point where I got enough XP to change playbooks. So yeah, interesting. I dropped 2 moves, which were like mostly stuff for mundane where they get into trouble and need to be saved. Because, you know, as a monster, it's not that appropriate anymore. And also they were just experience generators. And really, we've been eating up the experience anyway.
Damn it, now who's going to get in trouble?
Jessica.
I'll still get in trouble. And...
You say that, Jules, while we're standing around the court.
He's gotten some new stuff as well, which will
pretty exciting stuff. I look forward to seeing how this transition affects everyone. And I love that you chose to make this upgrade to monstrous while during the game session you guys are standing in the burn. So good choice. Not at all ominous at all. Okay. So in last session, you guys went on a field trip to the burn. The burn is an area that you had seen in the kind of thumbtack madness string deal map of pine box and surrounding area in that place called the Sanctuary, where you have found a map and a cool tome and a bunch of other doodads from the group that called themselves the Protectors. The Protectors existed in the 50s and then vanished. And you guys went to the burn because there was this field trip and an opportunity to find out more about this area, because all kinds of ley lines all pointed to that particular area. And in the 50s, there was something crazy that went on there, and a huge several square mile circle, everything in the burn died, and it was blackened. And the trees, the remnants of trees were up like skeletal fingers. You went with a professor who does this on a semester by semester basis, goes out, makes observations, takes people out with augers, and they check the perimeter and look at the salination of the water and the dirt and all the mineral contents in the dirt, because nothing still, 70 years, nothing grows there. Dr. Barton, the professor who took you out there, had told you guys that mobile phones would not work. You'd get no reception. You headed out with a group of other college students, including Ariel Summers, who's a theater major who totally has a thing for Kyle Lawless. Kyle Lawless, a nature lover who thinks Ollie's a pretty great guy. Stevie Ward, country boy, also from Pine Box, just like Derek is, kind of a dick. And then also Matt Miranda, who really shouldn't have been there, was upset when he lost Wi-Fi coverage and 4G and everything, and really wanted to know what if there's a Splatoon 2 game that starts up and he can't join. Very stressful for him. And then those were all of the folks that you guys came up with. The trip didn't last long before trouble started. Derek took a trek to the middle of the burn and found 13 badges of Texas Rangers, and remembered that one of he had seen a video while hanging out with a certain someone who's not here, down at the bottom of the row frat party house of none other than President Nelson, East Texas University's president. He had been wearing a badge. He was one of 13. He was number 7, lucky number 7. Sebastian Wilson was one of the other Texas Rangers who, if I recall, that was a conversation that you had with one of the Rangers, correct, Tekla?
Yeah.
Yeah. You decided to take those badges with you so that you could help put him to rest. You also saw that there were demons afoot and came back to the camp. And the 5 of you tried to work together because Dr. Barton had laid down in his tent on his very nice air mattress saying he wasn't feeling well. And he put he put his TA in charge, and things happened pretty quickly. As Derek saw Ariel Summers chasing after Kyle Lawless, and she manifested demonic powers. At nearly the same time, Earl and Ollie tried to drag Dr. Barton out of the burn as he was beginning to shift and change. Dr. Barton turned into an ash puppet and fought the 2 of them. Jessica was able to cast a ritual and cast out and banish the demon from poor Ariel Summers after we got some really cool like CG effects of this kick-ass big whammy that Tekla laid out on the demonic Ariel. Strategically ripped her shirt. Not that she has an action figure, but we'll just say, there's some flesh that was shown. It's salacious. What can I say? We've got to get the ratings. And she was saved. So Ariel was saved. Kyle was choked by the demon, was the embodiment of a premonition that Tekla had. He was saved from that dark fate. But all of the dark fates were avoided, as you guys had been hinting to or remember from last session a few weeks ago. In an act of desperation to defeat the demon that had taken over Dr. Barton and was proclaiming that the convergence was coming, that nothing could stop it, Ollie held down the ash puppet that once was the professor who organized this field trip, and Earl drew out his lock blade knife and finished him and put him down for real this time. So I'm thinking that we skip forward a bit of time, and then we can kind of flash back to moments. How does that feel to everybody? Does this sound like a good frame for us? All right. So we pick up. That was the like mid-season cliffhanger, I guess you might call it, right? And then we're going to come back for one episode, and then due to budgetary concerns, we take another long break. It must be a sci-fi show. And we pick up with the red and blue lights on a pair of police cars that are parked right beside the bus that you guys had taken up. And we kind of tracking shot follow the path that they took. And we see that there is a helicopter that's coming over top. And Kyle he's trying to wave off. This is kind of music playing in the background. It's Summertime by DJ Jazzy Jeff, and the Fresh Prince is playing in the background, which is an odd juxtaposition of music to the tone of what's going on. Most of the college students around you look shell-shocked. They're not sure what to do. They're standing outside of the burn, just on the very edge of it. There is a body bag and coroners that have come out and are wheeling away on a gurney the body of Dr. Barton. And we don't see Ollie, and we don't see Earl at this moment as everything is organizing, and all of you guys are being escorted back, told to head back to the bus. Kyle's he's trying. The paramedics are checking him out. He's got these wicked finger bruises. Ariel has some cuts on her back that she can't quite explain. So there are a lot of bumps and bruises and the like. Poor Matt got into some poison oak. So he's covered in this like white pasty stuff that was handed off to him by Kyle. And you guys are all, he's totally helpless. And you guys head back to East Texas University. And so all of this is happening. We flash back to the moments as Dr. Barton being held by you, Ollie, as you feel him go limp, as the ash puppet, everything, his skin turns from that charcoal color with the red eyes. The eyes turn back and the skin becomes sallow and flesh-like again, and he slumps down in your arms, dead. Ollie, you stand there with the blood dripping off of your lock blade knife. And
it's Earl that has the blood dripping off his knife.
Did I say Earl? Did I say the wrong name? I'm sorry. In my head, I was saying Earl. So Earl there, Ollie holding body, Earl stabbed. Also, if I remember, wormholes. So everyone but Derek is here. All four of you, but Derek. I'll hold my hand up. When I'm doing a hand gesture, I should make sure the camera can pick it up so you guys know what the hell I'm doing. Although I could say all four of you, but I'm actually doing this. I'd be messing with your heads. You wouldn't even know. All four of you, except for Derek, are here. You've witnessed this. You know that it needed to be done. Probably. We'll figure out. You know that they thought it needed to be done for sure. So, Earl, you're holding the bloody knife. There is still that effect from the burn where everything is quieter, but you're rather sure you hear a gasp from one of the college students nearby. A lot of them are still out, right? They have been sent out by the TA that told to go do certain little jobs, perimeter search, all that good stuff. But there's still some who came back when there was some trouble. There are others who hadn't left, and you realize that it is none other than Matt Miranda, who has come back to the camp, and he saw this. Like, yeah, he's like scratching his arm and watching this, scratching his arm like that, like first bits of exposure. Earl, what do you do?
I watch the body turn back to human, and it's the first realization of not just how far wrong this went, but how much everything has changed in the last 9 months or whatever since last September. I've punched dudes before. Never started a fight, but I've ended my share. But I've never even thought of using my knife to hurt somebody before this moment. So I think what happens is I drop my knife and I fall back onto. I'm already sort of hunkered down to do what I did, and I just fall back onto my butt and just close my eyes and shake my head.
Ollie, you were holding him as he died. What do you do?
I kind of just gently put him down to one side and kind of move to Earl. Maybe like put a hand out, but like pull it back again, like unsure, and then like pick the knife. Tekla, can you do that thing again?
Which one?
You're suddenly here. Can you get rid of this?
Yeah. I take it. And I disappear for a minute.
Oh, well, that sounds interesting. In the burn, I would like to see a roll to that.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
I gotta figure out where Tekla's gonna take this to.
Yeah.
I mean, there's kind of no limit. Probably back to New York somewhere.
Hey, lots of knives there.
Bunch of knives in New York. Yeah, well, I'll roll the dice first and we'll see what happens. All right, so that is a 7.
Oh. Were you taking anyone with you?
No.
Okay. So on a 7 to 9, you don't quite manage it. Either you are all separated or you all appear in the wrong place.
That's right. I don't roll wormhole unless I'm taking somebody else with me.
Yeah, so you got to carry somebody with you. Who do you carry? Knowing you had a 7 to 9. Who do you carry?
Maybe I'm still holding the knife.
Yeah, I mean, that seems... But I don't want to steal Ollie away from a possible good scene with Earl.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So do we take an NPC? Some NPC come up? Yeah.
Because, I mean, there's Matt, our helpless friend.
I'm in New York. Pollution.
Ended up in Jersey. Not all of New York is New York City, you guys. Just like not all of Michigan is Detroit.
Yeah, but like all the non-Detroit Michigan, who cares? What, Lansing? What? Joking.
I know.
All right.
But yeah. So So I guess I accidentally take helpless Matt with me.
That's awesome. So, yeah, he moves in, and you're not even sure how you pulled him along. But you step through, and as you step through the portal, you realize something's not quite right.
Mm-hmm.
And you're standing in front of the remnants of a burned up house. And it still feels hot, Texas hot. And that's when you recognize that you are in West Marches.
West Marches.
The place where Abigail was, where you guys hunted down the vampire.
Ah.
And this is the burned down house where she fed on everyone except for one guy. Poor Neil. The person who led you to West Marches.
Mm-hmm.
Probably good places to hide knives. And that's when you hear, as you're thinking about places to hide the knife in this place, which doesn't have that many cops now, for some reason. And that's when you hear Matt. Oh God! Oh my God!
Oh shit! Matt, are you okay?
Did I eat some bad mushrooms? I didn't mean to eat any. What in the world is?
Yeah, you definitely shouldn't eat anything that you find in the woods, buddy. That's definitely.
And then his eyes just kind of, they seem glassy for a second.
Oh shit, he's gonna pass out.
He falls out.
Oh
bam,
no.
right onto the old, like right on the edge of like the burned grassy area, and where the grass has started to grow back again, but is unkept.
Oh, well. So I try to get this knife hidden in a hurry so that I can tend to poor sad sack Matt.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, you go, you hide that knife. We see you like in the distance, like the camera shot shows you kind of filching around. You find a good place to stash it, and then we pull back just a little bit, and we see like a plastic covered sofa and an old lady, this leaning in. Not sure what's going on here. We come back to you. You've hidden the knife. It's no problem whatsoever.
Sure. I'll actually like knock on her door and try to get ahead of this.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Give me a moment as it's not Neil. It was Neil. It's Timothy Diamond, not Neil. Mrs. Lubbock is the old lady. And who was it that went out here and spoke with her and did the interview? I know it was Earl and it was Jessica, right? You guys were doing a little bit of field research. So you haven't met Mrs. Lubbock, but you know about her, but you guys switch information. So, hey, this is the old lady who's kind of nosy and gave you guys some information on the burning down of the house. So you leave Matt on the ground and you walk around to talk to Mrs. Lubbock, step onto the porch, and there's a screen door, the wrap on, and she opens the door just a little crack. There's a chain there and says, yes, yeah, a dear?
Hi, I don't mean to bother you, but my classmate just fainted. And I don't want to leave him out here in the sun.
Oh, it is awful hot. I can make some tea.
Okay. We don't have to come in if you're not comfortable. We can just rest in the shade of your porch, or...
See you roll with charm here. I think you're trying to manipulate her to see how things are going. Charm 1. You're not so bad at this.
I'm not so bad at this. 7.
Oh, 7. She says, 7 to 9, they'll do it, but only if you do something for them right now or show that you mean it. She says, what's your name, young lady?
Tekla Abandonado.
She pauses and says, are you sure about that? That sure seems like a fake name to me. Show me your license.
I tuck into my wallet and I show her. I'm like, my parents are super Italian.
Oh, all right, honey. And she closes the door and undoes the latch and says, I can't rightly carry him, but I know some guys just down the street. They could pick him up if you need it.
That could really help, but you know what? Maybe I can get him to come to a bit on his own. I'm gonna give that a shot.
All right, I'll go make some tea for y'all.
Oh, thank you so much.
Just bring him. If you can get him up, you can bring him on in here. That's fine.
Okay. I'll excuse myself to go and try and wake Matt up.
Sure, that's not a problem. We'll cut away from you. We cut back to it's a me, Tekla. That's good. That's good. That's good. She disappears. Tekla just Jessica, you being the expert and extremely sharp, you notice that Matt is gone as well. Because I imagine that you knew that he had some kind of itchy problem.
Jessica is still standing very still and in shock because she was chanting up until this point. And when they asked her what they should do, she couldn't answer, but this was not what she would have said. So she is still staring at Earl in shock. And like, why? What did you guys do?
Well, we had to.
We could have tried other things.
We didn't.
No, but
we should.
At this point, what Earl is hearing is Jessica saying, "You fucking monster, you killed him." And that's.
I mean, that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. So Earl is not saying a goddamn word right at the moment. He's just sort of rocking back and forth and staring at the body.
Ollie's like trying to get not to be too mechanical. I'm trying to see if there's any danger of being more people wandering in on this. And
well, you are. Rich actually tried to do conversion of feet to meters on the fly in his head instead of going to the cool tab that's created for us. The metric help. So let me just do that. You're almost 12 whole meters away from the edge of the camp where you guys had thrown up your tents. You have the fires actually been started, so you know that kids could come back any moment now.
Mm.
You also know that Ariel and Kyle are not far away. Like they were what would have been in earshot, less than 20 meters away. But because of the effects of the burn, it's difficult to hear. It's very quietened. But Ariel and Kyle are kind of dealing with their own trauma right this moment, but could come along any minute and see exactly what's happened.
Jess.
Maybe we could have extracted it, or I don't know.
Jess.
Like
Jess. Is
just keep babbling, like cryogenetically, or like.
Jess, is there a ritual? Is there a ritual you can do? Something. Hide this. Or
like hide the corpse?
I'm like looking around to see if there's anything I can just cover it with.
Sure. Yeah, you could head into any of the tents, grab a sleeping bag, no problem. You could do that in just moments.
Yeah, I start to go to get something to cover this, so it's not immediately obvious there's a corpse.
I think you're acting under pressure. We'll see how you pull that off.
Yeah.
Your cool is a 1.
Yeah, okay. Roll. 11.
Nice. Wow. The dice want you to hide this body. So yeah, you do that. You cover over his body and even unzip it to make it wider. Drop that thing over. His blood starting to pool around his back.
Then I kind of just stand back away from the body.
So we cut away from the three of you to Derek. So Derek, you had walked away. You saw what was going on with. Let me just make sure I'm placed you right. You were near Kyle during that attack, but you didn't get pulled back with Jessica, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you're near the three of them. And they're talking. Kyle's checked in with Ariel. He now is trying to figure out a way. In fact, he'll say, there's a first aid kit. We should get some medicine on, like topical. We should get some topical medicine on those cuts. They look pretty bad. And she said, I don't even know how I got them. And my shirt is all cut up. What's going on? This is really weird. Kyle looks over at you, Derek. What do you do?
Trying to remain as calm as I can, trying to reassure them, look, it's going to be fine. I am like there's this shot of the camera like of it on his eyes, and then it shoots to the arm dripping with blood, and then back to his eyes. But he's like going like, look, no, we're gonna find you some bandages. Let's go meet up with everyone else. Find the first aid kit. But we're gonna fix this.
Yeah, I know where the first aid kit is, Kyle says. And he says, can you stay with Ariel? I'll be right back. And he just takes off.
Like, there's this pained look, like, no, that's no, God damn it.
And Ariel looks up at you and she says, I don't really understand what's going on. And she keeps stepping closer to you, like, hey, you'll comfort her. And you can smell the blood at her back. It smells really good. What do you do?
I think Derek's gonna like take a step back and go like, I mean, you should sit down. Yes.
Cool. I want to see if you can manipulate her to not freak out at your freak out and see how that goes.
All right. Derek dice. Manipulate would be charm, I think. Yeah. So that'll be an 8. No, 9.
Okay, a 9. So close. So on a 7 to 9, just like we talked about. She okay, but can you just stay here? Please don't leave me.
Okay.
She sits down on a stump, a soot-covered stump. It really hurts. Can you see? Is it too deep?
I think, yeah, Dark is still is going to take a look at it, and he runs his hands across the back, and then still like there's some blood in his fingers, and then he suddenly goes,
Oh, what does it taste like?
like iced tea,
Mm,
weirdly enough.
sweet iced tea.
Yes. Good
Makes
old
your,
southern sweet iced tea.
makes your mouth water. It'll be okay. I'm gonna be okay, right? I mean, I can move. It just feels like something crazy slammed into me, and I just feel kind of woozy too. This is terrible. I really wish I hadn't come here.
And
I think,
and
yes.
suddenly, Dirk, like after having a taste of that blood, he you see him like run his tongue along his teeth, and it's like, oh fuck. I starts poking at his canines, which are
Yeah,
too long.
they are indeed too long. You hear a voice. That voice you heard earlier is Abigor's voice. She's your food. Take it.
I'm going to roll for this because I don't know if he can. Basically, I
Act
want
under
to
pressure to
find out.
resist.
This is mostly to find out. Like, I guess it's act under pressure, mostly
Yeah.
to find out if he's going to actually say this out loud or say this in his head. He's going to say it out loud because I failed. He really just goes, "Fuck off."
What? What? And she looks up, and you think she sees the fangs.
Like,
And she scampers off of the stump, like kind of half falls clumsily, gets up, and starts to run towards the camp. What do you do?
oh wait. Shit.
She's pretty fast, but I have heard that you might be faster.
Yeah. Hi. I have a thing now.
Yeah, so how's that go?
Well, it just gives me when I chase, flee, or run, I get +1 ongoing because I have preternatural speed.
All right, let's see you take that +1 and
And let's see if I can keep up with her.
yeah, let's see if you can keep up with her. I'm wondering, is that another act under pressure? Because I don't think you want to kick some ass here, right?
No, I'm
It
not trying.
seems like you're trying to protect
trying to keep her from doing stupid stuff.
stupid stuff. Okay.
Or maybe
Right.
smart, running away from monsters.
Not that you've ever done that. So cool. Roll your +1.
So +1, and then so that's at least a 7,
Natural fast.
and I guess it's acting. So that'll be a what does acting pressure go on?
Oh, cool. Let's
You've
roll.
got
Cool.
Okay, that's a
plus
0.
plus
Yeah.
one.
Then it's a 7.
Exactly a 7. Awesome. So you run after her, and the only way that you're going to catch her is if you
Oh yeah.
knock her to the ground, right?
I basically, like, you get that slightly blurry image of moving too fast, and really appear in front of her and just go boonk, push her
Nice.
down.
Cool. Yes, you. And all of a sudden you're in front of her. Her eyes get wide. You shove her to the ground, and she screams as loud as she can. We cut back to the three of you, Jessica, Earl, and Ollie, and you hear a muffled scream. But something cuts it short.
What was that?
Jessica, when you look around, you'll see Derek. And then you can see Ariel. Yeah.
Well, I don't have my knife anymore. I guess I'm gonna shake it off enough to get to my feet and try to run over. My hands are, just for Derek's information, my hands are bloody. Just so you know.
Thank you.
It's a good thing you don't have the actual bloodsucker move yet. But I'll try to get up and run over. As much a reason to run away from what Jessica's been saying as it is a reaction to the scream. It's just almost an excuse. But I will run over, and I don't know if anybody else is coming with me. So.
I think I kind of like look to Jessica, but I don't know if she's still freaking out or not. But I kind of then I kind of go after Earl. Yeah, maybe that girl that got knocked over is demon infected or something. We might need to.
Yeah. So I'll get there, and I'll of course look to Derek, who I know and trust, and see what's going on. Ariel, are you okay? What's going on?
Derek, do we need to?
Wait.
No! He's got things. He did a thing. He moved like.
What?
It's look. It's okay. There's no. You just imagine, and actually, I'm going to use some mental dominion on her because.
Oh my goodness! All right. You're born for this mental dominion stuff.
Yeah, because
charm.
She's. 10.
Wow. On a 10, hold 3. You can spend your hold to give them an order.
I'm basically saying her, like, hey, there's nothing going on. There's nothing wrong. Calm down. Calm down.
And her chin, which was like quivering, and tears starting to, everything just goes slack, and she relaxes, and she kind of just sits up a little bit, and he is her whole world. Okay.
Derek,
And then my next thing is what I'm going to say is, forget what you just saw. There's nothing weird about me that you need to tell anyone.
Is this out loud?
Yes.
Is this like,
Yes.
Derek, what's going on?
Okay.
And then Derek looks up to Ollie and like, you know, exposed fangs and like, she's bleeding.
Nothing weird's going on. It's okay. She starts to get up.
Earl will take a step to help her to her feet.
I'm just staring right
And
at Derek.
and then like you see Derek's glance suddenly snap to Earl, and then he says, "You're bleeding too." And there's like a almost like a guttural growl behind those words.
I'm kind of like actually moving in between Earl and Derek.
I don't think you need to protect someone yet.
But I'm definitely eyeing Derek intensely. But my hands kind of just like I'm stopping myself reaching for my knife. Because, but
Get her out of here.
I will move to do that.
Earl, get out of here.
I'm taking her back towards camp proper, not towards the professor's body.
Okay. So we'll cut to Jessica. Jessica, you feel a hand on your shoulder. What do you do?
I turn around.
Oh, you're calm? Oh, good, good. Yeah, it's Kyle. He's holding a first aid kit.
What did Ollie do with the body again? Did he just cover it with a sheet or something?
He covered it with a sleeping bag.
Okay.
unzip sleeping bag.
Okay. Hey.
What's that?
Just some camping stuff. Did you hear that scream? I think someone's hurt.
Ariel's hurt. Something cut her back. I don't know if it was a trap or something. It looks pretty bad. I was getting a first aid kit, but then I saw that.
You should go help her.
He bends down and he starts to pull at the flap of the sleeping bag. Like he has to see, but he doesn't want to see. What do you do?
No. What do I do? There are no persuade rules, are there?
There's manipulate. You can manipulate someone to persuade them to do what you want. Yeah. Roll a charm.
I will physically pull him back. Jessica's not very strong, so she'll pull him back and she'll say, "If you don't get to Ariel now, she might die."
Awesome. Roll to manipulate him.
Very good social person.
You have a -1 on charm.
It's a 4.
It's a 4. So the good news is that you get an XP.
Yay!
Congratulations. The bad news is he doesn't buy it, and he pulls back the flap and sees Dr. Barton's body and gasps and then looks up at you. What happened here?
I didn't want to see it. I didn't want you to see that. And get even more traumatized.
And he pulls the bag a little bit further and he starts like looking at the body. Someone's. Is that a knife?
Is that a what?
Is that a knife?
Knife.
Wait, I'm sorry. So just so I'm clear, Paul, let me check in with you. You said I don't have my knife anymore. Did you gave up the knife so he wouldn't see that? That's right. Sorry.
Teleported.
Some reason,
The
my head kind of got screwed up there, and I was seeing a knife.
The knife is in.
That's right. The knife
West
is at Miss. It's right beside Miss Love's house. So he says, "Did somebody stab him? What?" And he reaches down and he starts to try to pull up Dr. Barton's shirt. And
he was stabbed in the chest, wasn't he?
was he stabbed in the chest? So yeah, he's gonna pull up the shirt a lot.
This totally ruins the thing I was going to do to hide the body. No, there's nothing I can do subtly. The magic is not very subtle. Huh. No. I don't know. Yeah, I'll let him pull up the shirt.
Okay. He pulls up Dr. Barton's shirt. Somebody stabbed him. Did you see this, Jessica? Did you see somebody stab Dr. Barton?
Found the body. We should call someone. You call
Come
someone.
with me. We need to go close. We've got to get where we have reception.
Someone needs to stay here.
We don't know who did this. You shouldn't stay here. Come on. Come with me. Oh, God. He looks back. Ariel. Shit. Stay here. And he takes off.
Jessica starts crying. But she'll take the time and turn back to the body, and she wants to do something to the body to make it look like it was a supernatural event. Ooh. Instead of a human murderizing attack.
Okay, that's
because those get a lot less attention for some reason. Not sure why.
This wasn't a murder; it was a demon. We have to put it under the rug. Murderers will prosecute.
Exactly. I'm not sure what would be the best way to do that.
So imagine this is the thing where you're like furiously flipping through the tome, right? Mm-hmm. Trying to figure something out. I'll give you a moment and we'll cut back to Earl. Earl, you start walking Ariel back and you see from between a couple of the tents, it's Kyle, and he comes running up. And he puts his hand up like, don't come back. Don't come back. There's something really really bad. Something really bad happened at the campsite. We all need to go. Everybody needs to go. We need to round everybody up. Someone got hurt. And not like you, Ariel. And then he comes around with a first aid kit. I'm going to imagine, Earl, that you got a little bit away from Derek and Ollie.
Yeah. I shake my head and I'm like, wait, what are you talking about, Kyle? What happened?
Ariel, honey, let me get here. Let me put some men. He turns her around and kind of lifts up her shirt and she puts her hand over her tummy, a little bit of modesty there, and he starts trying to work on that. He says, listen, Dr. Barton got hurt. He's been stabbed. I think he's dead.
Earl just barely doesn't say, oh, just that? Okay. Because he already knew about that. But I don't think I have the chops to pretend to be surprised by that at the moment. So I'm just going to say, well, shit. and I will let him deal with Ariel's injuries, but I'm just
Sure.
going to sort of wander off back towards the body, and Jessica's judgy face.
Okay, awesome. So we will peel back to Derek and Ollie. Earl and Ariel have been gone for a little bit. What do we see? What is going on with the two of you? We're about to swing back to Tekla in just a moment.
I'm basically looking at Ollie like at I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm safe.
Did you do that to Ariel?
No.
Did you do that to Ariel?
No. Demons.
Kind of glance at his teeth when he does that. You mean different demons?
I'm
I have
not a
like
demon. I'm not like her. And I'm not listening to her. I don't. I didn't do this. There's. It's those fire demons here.
You've earned some trust. We'll talk about this later. And if you feed on someone,
No. This is the first time that this happened, and he points at like he still like he sticks out his thumb on one of his fangs, like still surprised by the fact that
I like look away and just that. Yeah, I can't look at that. It swings out. Just going back to camp. The
Ollie,
is dead.
Ollie.
What?
She's been talking in my head, but I'm fighting her off. I'm still me.
We'll talk to Jessica. She can.
Yeah.
Fix you.
Maybe. And I sort of hang my head.
Yeah, I just turn away from him and start walking back to the camp, kind of shaking my head. Like, I'll deal with this.
Cool. So we cut away from the two of you to a white painted swing that sits on a porch in a lazy Texas afternoon. You hear the chain as it kind of creaks, and we see Tekla with a sweet tea in her hand, and Matt, who's holding a sweet tea, and on both of his forearms are all kinds of pasty white cream. It's also on his neck. He looks pained.
Matt, how did you get into that much poison ivy?
Well, I got a bar, and then I was moving around to try to get a good signal, and then I tripped, and I fell into a bunch of
Oh no.
stuff, and then it started to itch really bad, so I just scratched it, but then it itched worse, and it's all over, Tekla.
It'll be okay.
He takes some sweet tea and drinks it. Mrs. Lubbock says, "Y'all feel any better? You got the shade of the porch and a little bit of a swing. Iced tea always takes the edge off for me."
It's nice, thank you, ma'am.
Now, I'm not entirely sure how y'all got out here to take a, what do they call it, fluba?
And Uber.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why they call it that either. It's not just you.
We don't have a taxi service anymore. We did, but then James, he moved back to Austin, took his cab with him. He didn't get a whole lot of business. But if y'all need a ride to town, I'm pretty sure that my car will start.
I gotta think about my options here. Out of character.
Sure.
Because I
mean, you can wormhole back.
Because I can wormhole back, but I gotta find a place to do so in privacy. And it would probably drag Matt out of his little boundary of incredulity. That plausible deniability kind of goes away. There's probably no one in the police station. That's,
whew, just a bunch of like cardboarded, taped up area over all the.
Yeah.
You can go to the bank, get the security guard. She's your buddy.
Yeah. I just think about it for a few moments and I say, I'm going to try calling some school friends and see if I can't get a pickup. I really appreciate the offer, though. Well,
You do that, but whatever Uber driver just dropped you off, you can report them, Better Business Bureau. I heard that they're not very nice.
I'm definitely giving him a 1-star review.
And Matt adds helpfully, "That's bad. Out of 5. Oh, I know that, honey. I read Roger Ebert reviews, Siskel and Ebert reviews, and I know all about that. Although they do the thumbs, but anyhow. But I'm gonna head on inside. If y'all need to make a call or whatever, you're welcome to."
Thank you.
And she'll shuffle her way back inside.
I turn to Matt and I'm like, "How many bars of signal you got?"
2.5-ish. It's not bad.
You can actually make a phone call with that.
Totally.
Can't call anybody back at camp. I'm weighing things over in my head. So again, not vocalizing. Well, both demons in that area should be stopped for now. One of them's been banished. One of them's been murder banished. Gonna be a minute. So it's relatively safe there. But people are going to start missing us real shortly. So I take a nice long drink of my sweet tea and stand up. Matt, let's go for a walk.
Sure.
Cool.
He gets up and he'll amble after you.
And I walk sort of towards town or where there's going to be visual screening away from people and Miss Lubbock specifically.
Sure. Yeah, you can get out of Miss Lubbock's curious neighborhood watch view after walking half a block, no problem.
Cool. So, Matt, we're going to have to get back to camp.
Are you sure we can't just go back to school?
People are going to be looking for us. People are going to be talking about where we were. People might need our help back at camp.
Yeah.
I know that camp was going kind of badly when we left. You remember what you saw?
I didn't see much. Nope.
Okay. No. So we're going to take the same way back that we got here with.
We could get a car.
I mean, out of character, how far is it between Westmarsh and the park?
It's a, if I remember correctly, it took you guys a few hours to get there.
Yeah, from the school.
From Pine Box, yeah. So it'd probably be another hour. So it'd be like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Thereabouts.
That's not going to be good enough, I think. You can stay here if you want to and get your own ride home.
So you could do this thing. Like you did that, you could do it again.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. You're like a mutant or something.
Sure, that sounds good.
Well, I mean, I like X-Men. Not Apocalypse. The movie was shit, but like the whole Claremont run was good, and I was even in for some of the Austin stuff. And Juggernaut was kind of sort of a good guy. It was all right. But like,
While he's talking, I'm just gonna sort of grab his shoulder and do it.
Okay. Cool.
Cool. That's a 10.
Nice. Okay. So with the 10 on Wormhole, God, I love this movie so much. It's great. You all go where you wanted. So you catch the tail end of him saying, when Polaris is really hot and oh shit.
Yank. Pat him on the shoulder. Aurora was much better in Apocalypse than she was in any of the other movies.
So are you like blue and fuzzy and that's why you're actually pale? Like your like makeup is
No.
Okay, well, I've always wanted to see somebody with a tail, so that's fine. That's fine, I'm not disappointed.
just keep looking for your rainbow, man.
Cool. So I'm going to say that the 5 of you have gathered back together again. You now have Kyle, Ariel, and Matt, and we have the rest of the group is going to start compiling in. You've had a few moments. What have you done with the body?
Wait, maybe I should roll for magic first.
Oh, sure. I know you were thinking of a plan. I just assumed you have one.
I have one.
Don't forget, you should have some hold, or did you use up all that hold?
Yes, I have one hold. I already deleted it.
All right, don't forget it.
And I have enough weird to make that 10 for magic use. As Earl is coming back up, I don't know why. I think we're on a hill. The body of what was his name?
Dr. Barton.
Good corpse. Dr. Barton is levitated sideways, and Jessica is holding out a hand, and there is a huge spectral claw. And just as Earl comes up, she pulls her hand back, and the claw rakes his back quite deeply.
Okay, nice. So technically you port back in, and you're right at the campsite. You see the body of Dr. Barton, and you see what has been wrought upon him.
Holy shit. Man, you'd think I'd fucking get used to it.
And Matt throws up.
Fuck.
Like he stumbles away a few, like, I'm okay. Then he drops to his knees, another shot, and yeah.
And I do a head count real quick. I see the professor's body. I see Jessica. Who else do I see?
I'm going to say that Kyle is here coming back with Derek and Earl and Ariel.
Derek, who has his lips tightly sealed together.
And Ollie.
Yeah, I'm ahead of Derek and just
Eyeing
not making
him
any
suspiciously.
And I don't know if this is like Ollie's face is. I can't tell if it's the same intensity that I left him at or not. You know, there's nothing new to read because things
I
are
would say there's a little more distance.
yeah.
And Derek, like the way his lips are pursed together, it is a bit awkwardly. Like
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there's
Okay.
definitely a kind of keeping my way back to Derek. I'm not like I don't live in my cone of vision, basically.
So it feels weird, but
yeah,
no reason why. All right, here's the part where we've got to start
Hiking back.
doing what normal people would do. Getting back to the van.
What happened to the professor's back? It's not.
that Kyle.
Yeah, it's Kyle.
It's not natural.
We should gather everybody and get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Safe.
And so we fast forward again to the time that we began with the coroner carrying away the body and the police here checking over poor Matt with his white cream and Ariel with her first aided back. And I think we're going to reintroduce the officer that we saw early on, if you guys remember from the Roost. When there was a big, vaguely, it was a while ago, like 14 game sessions ago. I know, you guys, we've been playing forever.
I think Derek made friends with him.
I did make friends with him. Let me grab his name real quick. I just want to make sure that it was the Sweat Lodge, and he was there with. You guys dealt with security guard Tyler, and then there was the meeting after the fact, after you took out Tyler, with President Nelson and tall African American police detective. His name is Blaine Bishop, Detective Bishop. So he comes up on the scene. He's got the kind of the Smokey Bear, brown hat kind of dealy. And Derek, right? Derek.
Like by now that some time has passed, he's not in the direct vicinity of open blood anymore. Derek's teeth have retracted, and he's still like adjusting his jaw a bit because he's been clenching for a while, and he's a bit like, like still running his tongue along his teeth, like, everything right? Okay, yeah.
Boy, you sure seem to get yourself tangled up in some weird shit.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to say to that officer.
We're going to have to take some statements from everybody that witnessed it, I hope. You don't have any plans because I'm going to need you guys to come with me down to the station. He points around. All of y'all. So I remember you from the thing at the Roost. All right?
Of course.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, come on. A couple of y'all can ride with the deputy. A couple of y'all can ride with me. And, shit, I guess we'll have to do 3 and 2. So who's riding with me?
Derek, are you raiding with your buddy? I don't say out of character.
Sure.
Also, right with you. And Jessica sort of looks skillfully at Earl while she gets into the other car.
Whoa! How does Earl take that?
Earl was planning on choosing whichever car Jessica wasn't in. So for the moment, until we get a chance to talk, I don't think he wants the awkward silence. So
cool.
Yeah, I'll ride with Earl.
I'm sorry, what does Tekla do?
I'll ride with Earl.
All right, cool. So it will be Derek and Jessica in the sheriff's car, and one of the deputies will take everybody else. So we have that the high shot, right? The two, because the lights are turned off, and the coroner takes the body out, and we have the bus that's slowly driving behind the 2 police cars. And we cut to you guys at the Pine Box Police Department. All 5 of you haven't, you've been fingerprinted. You're in your normal street clothes. Like we aren't going to do the ending of Seinfeld when all 5 of you in a jail cell.
Right.
But you're currently in a interview room with a long metal desk, 2-way mirror. All 5 of you are seated chairs. They pulled in a couple extra chairs. Has anyone tried to call for a lawyer?
Derek hasn't.
he just said he was asking us questions, right?
He did.
Yeah.
So
I call for a lawyer.
Because you're
And I say it in like the words you have to say it. because in fact, if you don't say it clearly enough, the police will be like, "You didn't ask for a phone call. I don't know what you're talking about." It's like, yeah, I need a phone call to seek representation now.
So, Officer Bishop, Chief Bishop says, Tekla, I will not deny you that call, but I think that we should talk for just a minute before we go down that road.
And like, I give him a look because that's precisely why it should happen immediately.
That's exactly right. So, do you want to read a bad situation here? Or do you want to just deny and say, nope, I'm calling for a lawyer? Totally up to you.
Gonna read a bad situation
Read
here.
the stage, yeah.
All right, so that is a 10.
Nice. On a 10, hold 3.
All right, so let's see. I actually have to open up the thing.
Yeah, and these are weird,
The thing
right?
with the options.
Yeah, the thing with the stuff.
I have to actually open up the reference sheets. Here we go. Read a bad situation. Read a bad situation is not entirely the best.
Yeah, I know. I mean, this game isn't made for what we're doing with it,
Sure.
per usual. If you wanted to flip to investigate a mystery, that's a possibility too, although I don't think those exactly work either, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I tell you what, why don't you spend a whole 1 for 1 and you can ask me any question that seems appropriate.
All right, so hold 1 for 1. Is this fellow just trying to entrap us, or is he trying to contain a conversation about the supernatural?
He is absolutely trying to contain a conversation about the supernatural.
Awesome.
So I'll look, give him like the long stare. Understood.
Cool. Let's go ahead and take our break. It's currently 6 till, so let's just meet back at the top of the hour. Everybody gets 6 minutes. Cool?
All right.
All right.
Good.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Greetings, friends. What is the plastic thing that you are opening, Jen?
It is a Cliff Bar.
Cliff Bars. I had my first kind bar over the trip to Origins.
Mhm.
They are delicious.
Mhm.
They were very kind to my mouth.
Are you okay?
John, you okay?
Yeah.
What are you doing, sweet?
I inhaled some stuff.
Hey, Rich, did you ever put like this update version 12 online? Of this?
The muting thing stopped working, by the way.
Oh,
Like you're coming through on both sides.
Oh, well, I can just mute myself.
yay! I can talk.
And now I can talk.
Well, Rich, did you ever put session 12 online?
I did put 12 online. Yep, I put it in last week. Yep.
Did you not see it?
Well, no, but also it's the best session that
Yes.
It was pretty spectacular, and I'm very happy to have it out there. There were even some comments. People were like, "Oh, this was really good." So,
Yay!
yeah.
Because we are YouTube famous now.
YouTube famous. All right. We pick up with the five of you there, uncomfortable metal chairs, and detective. What would you call a police chief? Chief Bishop, I guess. Chief Bishop, right? I just want to make sure I'm using the right term.
Probably.
American TV would use is Chief.
I mean,
Chief Bishop walks in.
Texas, though, isn't it sheriff? Or?
Sheriff Bishop. There we go. That's it. That's way better. Sheriff Bishop. His pine box is tiny, so it should be Sheriff Bishop. Sheriff Bishop walks in. He's got a folder. He drops the folder. It's a manila folder, right? And he drops it in the middle of the table. You can see that there are papers inside that kind of shuffle out a couple of large photographs. And the door doesn't click shut. Someone else comes walking in. And that second person is none other than President Nelson, the president of East Texas University. And the two of them come in and they sit at the table opposite you. And President Nelson's the first to speak. If you remember President Nelson, in his older gentleman, I kind of use a mental picture of a Ross Perot, but not super short. And he says, flips open the manila folder. You can see there's a picture of the huge gash in Dr. Barton's back. I told y'all to let things well enough alone. Not go sticking your nose where it didn't belong.
You can't protect your own students from what's going on in the burn.
On a college-sponsored trip.
And or your colleagues, for that matter.
Fair. Been doing it for decades. We've kept things under wraps, but things are getting worse. I told myself that this wouldn't happen again. Here it is. You're gonna say something there, Ollie?
You gonna cover it up?
Well, what would you rather I do? Sheriff, do you think that we should prosecute these boys here? I assume that y'all were the ones involved in killing Dr. Barton for whatever reason.
Monster clawed him.
Yeah, they do that. Listen, Y'all have a whole summer to think about what you want to do. Any of y'all want to transfer out, I'll gladly sign whatever paper you need. You do not want to be here in Pine Box, Texas when this comes back around.
You only have to run faster than the slowest gazelle.
I don't even understand that one. Because all y'all are gazelles. So you saying that you're willing to sacrifice one of your friends? Derek, you got good grades, son. Why don't you go to some other university? Huh? Ollie, I don't even know how you got here. I've looked at your transcripts, boy. What I'm saying is, y'all think you're doing some good. You're just going to get yourselves killed.
You'd know about that.
Lucky number 7.
He did not know you guys knew that.
Actually, I'm going to be an ass, and I'm going to stand up from my chair and reach in to my back pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know what? Actually, that's probably still... nah, fuck it. This is good and theatrical. This would make...
yeah.
This is TV shit here, so I don't care particularly what sense it makes. Thump, badge, clink, badge, clink, badge. And just deliberately 13 of them. You didn't even look. You didn't even try.
And President Nelson's face registers the shock of what you've just thrown down. And he can't help but reach out and touch first his badge.
Mm-hmm.
And then he quickly touches each of the others reverently. Sheriff Bishop watches this. He's a little surprised too, but not completely shocked. Like, this revelation is a thing. Like, there are layers of this that he seemed to have had an inkling.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Trying to think about how I can spend one of my 2 remaining hold here.
Okay.
In their reaction.
Right.
I rolled against Bishop, so I've got to really focus on Bishop, shouldn't I?
Yeah, should.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, what's the best way to get Bishop on our side?
Ooh, that's a great one. The best way to get Bishop on your side is to sell him on the idea that you are not poking a bear by trying to fight demons, that you're not going to make things worse and have all of Pine Box overrun by a bunch of pissed off demons because you killed one of their thousands, because that's what he thinks is going on.
We've contained so much shit since we've gotten here. You have no idea. Or actually, maybe you do have some idea, but you think it's our fault.
President Nelson is still kind of in his moment of reverie, and so Sheriff Bishop responds. Well, Miss Abandonado, there's a lot of shit going on.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. A demon summoning in the roost.
Bees.
Vampires.
Bees. Vampires. Boy, that poor community. Oh, God. Mass ghost possession. More demons in the burn.
Sheriff's looking over at Nelson at this. Like, get the feeling that he wasn't aware of all of this. Stuff that happened on the campus must have stayed on the campus.
A few of those words are like, wait, what?
Yeah. Nelson looks up and says, damn it, you kids. You don't understand what you're about to face. There were some kids your age a while back. They thought, oh hell, they thought they were real strong. And they convinced some of my best friends and me that they had an opportunity to stop this convergence. And then when it came down to it, with their big spell, it didn't work. I mean, mixed success, maybe even a Pyrrhic victory. It didn't come, it delayed it. It's coming back around again. I survived.
So instead of delaying it or maybe defeating it, you're suggesting just leaving it be.
Just roll over.
Damn it, y'all! I'm doing what I can, but I don't have the kind of shit y'all do.
Huh. Shit we all do.
Listen, I just don't want to see a bunch of kids throw their lives away. That's all I'm saying. What Pine Box has got to deal with, for Pine Box to deal with.
I lean across the table and I look at Sheriff Bishop. Sheriff Bishop, are we being charged?
Tell me exactly what you kids did. What happened? What really happened?
Sheriff Bishop, are we being charged?
Well, if you're being charged, then Miss Abandonado needs to call a lawyer, and I have to ask her not to. So, no.
I just start to get up and start to
Yeah.
walk.
As soon as he says no, I walk away. I stand up.
I stay, and I'm just going like, demons happened.
Are
But
we
I
getting
think
from leaving the room?
I'm going to stay for a few moments.
Earl and Ollie both can leave. It's no problem. They don't stop you. The door's not locked.
I'll walk back to campus and get my car and drive back to the station so I can give everybody else a ride back.
everyone.
Yeah. So the last thing that Nelson said, I want to make sure. How you tell me if I'm missing part. He said, primarily, I don't want you kids to throw your lives away. What Pine Box has got to deal with, Pine Box will deal with. And he mentioned that there were kids before who thought they were making a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And he talks about how they talked him and some of his closest friends into standing with him, but when the big moment came, all they did was delay the inevitable.
I think I'll definitely say like where Pine Box. I'm Pine Box.
And if you're not going to churches, then you can't really stop us because we're adults. So if you want to keep us safe, then you should probably tell us everything you know. So maybe that can help. It can go better this time.
I'll tell you what I know about it. Won't be enough.
Better than nothing.
There was one other person that survived that night. One of the kids. Her name's Helen.
Helen?
Helen
Does
Lane.
the name ring a bell?
Actually, would the name ring a bell? She's not. You being a local, you might.
Yeah.
She was one of
Yeah.
the victors, but that's all we know.
So, Helen LaCroix is her name. And so that name sounds real familiar to Tekla.
Oh,
Because of a certain something she's wearing.
oh shit, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Delagarza's cross and LaCroix. So the name LaCroix, actually, you have heard, Derek, that there was a woman that came through Pine Box, and this would have been a while back, like many, many years ago. She was claimed to be a voodoo priestess. Went by the name of LaCroix. But as far as knowing Helen LaCroix,
Mhm.
no. But the name LaCroix, that's your connection.
Right.
Cool.
There was some voodoo priestess came by in the 50s.
Yeah. So, one last question from my hold. How can... Well, that's right. I can't target Nelson. And I will keep on holding on to it.
Nelson says, y'all, I've been trying to keep a lid on things because the people of Pine Box don't really need to know what's really out there, and I'd appreciate it if y'all will continue.
And people in Pineworks.
Well, son, you kind of threw your lot in with a bunch of crazies. But I'm sure your sister, your parents, don't really need to know what all threatens them.
Maybe I am a bunch of crazies.
Yeah, I'm in the room, guy.
Fair enough. Don't look like I can stop y'all. I hope that what you're doing actually does do some good.
See, the thing is, with weird shit going on, tends to rub off on people. Weird shit makes weird people.
All right. No, y'all are free to go. I'll feed you what information I can. In exchange, you keep a lid on things like you have been. All right, you hear me?
Much appreciated.
Thank you.
All right. And with that, he'll kind of sit back from the chair, and Sheriff Bishop gets up to go open the door for you.
I will remain seated for a minute.
Cool. What does Derek do?
I think Derek is also going to stay.
Okay. Jessica will go, so they have a chance to say something in private if they want to.
And I'm just going to say that Ollie does since Alex needs to step away. So Sheriff Bishop looks back and Nelson gives him the nod and he heads out and closes the door.
You did the right thing 50 years ago. And then I stand up.
Thank you.
I'll tap my fingers on the table next to the row of badges. And then I'll just walk out.
What does Derek do? Sorry, that was a funny comment there. Okay, I lost it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes. No, Derek. Because I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure which one anymore. There was one. I think it was number 13, or there was one of the badges. Like, Tekla talked to one of the.
Yeah, she did. She talked to. We'll just say I can't remember the number, unfortunately, either.
Yeah.
But the person's name was Sebastian Wilson.
Oh,
And
I
we'll call-
did.
I'll tap on the. Like, I think she told me about that. I'm not sure anymore. It's been a while.
I did. I did.
Yeah.
Also, I'm going to take Sebastian's because I did promise Sebastian
Oh no!
specifically.
Actually, otherwise, I would have said like I would have basically said like I would have shoved over the Sebastian badge and just.
Let's call it lucky number 10. You snag number 10 on your way out, Tekla.
Yeah. It's in a row of 13, so there's an empty space you can point to if you want.
There you go.
No, I mean I wanted to tell him to make sure that that got into the right place, but I'll basically just go like. This place is. I meant it when it. Weird stuff makes weird people.
Yeah.
You can't protect him after that anymore. And then I walk out.
All right. So, Alex, just to catch you up, there was a couple words that were said by Tekla and Derek privately to President Nelson before they left. You guys can head outside, and within a few minutes, Earl comes around with the Requiem.
Yeah. I glance at it. I look at Derek.
When the Requiem pulls up, Derek just takes a step back.
Ooh.
I kind of look away from Derek and just open the door for him. Not to the cage. To the...
Yeah, but still, like, Derek just shakes his head.
What's wrong, Derek? Let's go.
Can't.
Why, did you forget something in the police station?
Can't get into the car.
Are you afraid of cars?
No. It's the decorations you put up. And I'm looking at Ollie when I say that you put up.
I walk up to the car and kick the door handle off.
Whoa, hey, what?
What?
The door handle's across us. Just in case.
Oh, I thought it was like...
I think like the entire monster cage was...
Or...
The entire monster cage was also filled with crosses and shit, right? Like, it's like...
It looks like it's not going to be an easy fix to get Derek back into the Requiem.
Yep.
No, basically, look, Derek's just going like, I'll walk. It's fine.
Cool. So then let's bring that scene to a close with 4 of you driving away, and we hear the sad Hulk music, as the sad piano Hulk music, as Derek has to walk back to campus on his own. And yeah,
I'll actually stick back with Derek.
oh, tech lag. You could teleport him back home. Right?
I could, but maybe we just need the time to walk.
Is there anything in specific you guys want to talk about on your walk back?
Oh, I'm definitely going to mention that's something that I mentioned previous session as well. That I still have Evergord talking in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and the teeth. That's new.
Teeth? What? Show me your teeth, dude.
He'll open his mouth and then fangs pop out.
How does it make that noise? I'm sorry.
I don't know why it does that.
Okay. How are you feeling?
Thirsty for iced tea.
You know, I actually had iced tea while I was
No.
taking care of the knife with Matt.
Yeah,
Seriously,
no.
this nice little old lady gave us like sweet tea with ice in it. It was great.
Not what I meant.
Okay. You meant the stuff that's supposed to be on the inside.
Yeah.
How has that been?
That's new.
Okay.
Freaked out. What was her name?
Alexis? Was
Yeah,
it?
something
Or
like that.
fucking...
Lex.
The girl who tried to choke
Yes.
Kyle. Ariel, thank you.
Ariel.
Okay.
Fuck out of Ariel. Oh, and I think Ollie hates me now.
His boyfriend was killed by a vampire.
I know, but
I know. You didn't do it. You're not the same.
I didn't choose this. Sorry, lisp. But I'm still trying to get the hang on.
Okay.
And trying to chew the teeth back in, like,
Nah. Nah.
yeah.
It's like trying to learn how to wiggle your ears, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen. Ollie's an emotional guy. But he can also be a lot more fair. And if he's got opportunities to think about it, he can come around to understanding. You didn't choose this. Not your fault.
I'll
It's not
talk to
something
him.
you like.
I think I should talk to.
You think you should talk to him?
Huh?
When?
I think I should. I'll talk to him, but I think I should talk to Jessica first.
Okay, yeah. Jessica's probably read something about it.
Well, I also don't want her to pull out the lawn play sets.
That would be bad. I don't think that Jessica will react the same way that Ollie did. Jessica's very open-minded.
Thanks for not freaking out.
Dude, how could I possibly freak out? I've run out of freak for today. Or the year. Forever.
Well, it's appreciated.
Yeah.
The cutscene there. Is that good?
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. So Earl, Jessica, do you ride up front?
Yeah, probably because she was confused about everything that just happened, so she probably just got in the front.
She sits down and she's like, oh.
Oh, yeah.
Here's Earl.
Oh, Ollie.
Mm.
What was that all about?
It's for him to say.
Oh, she addressed. Oh, you're talking about Derek, the Derek thing. Okay. Yeah. You'll have to talk to him.
Okay, that's totally not ominous. That was sarcasm. That's pretty ominous.
Uncharacteristically, Earl has not turned on the radio. So all of those moments of awkward silence
Are super awkward and
are super duper awkward. So I'm driving. It's a short distance back to campus. And I don't think Earl says much until we're almost there. And we did what we had to in the moment, Jessica.
I know. But you should, I don't know, like, talk to someone? Or, like, have a support group? I'll see if there's, like, a book that you can read.
You're first, and I'm sorry that Earl is sorry that Ollie is hearing this, but he doesn't give a shit at this point. Your first reaction was to tell me I was wrong.
Yeah. Right. It was me who had to make the call. If I had to make the call, I don't know what I would have said. I kind of hope not to find out. You know?
And at this point, I think we pull up in front of the dorms.
Yeah, I should go. I moved to get out.
Right. I don't blame you.
It's not what it sounded like.
I just don't want you. I don't want it to change you. But how can that not change you?
put the car in park. We're not in a parking spot, right? I just pulled up in front of the dorms parking lot. It's a little ways away. I put the car in park as Ollie tiptoes away from the car. I know I turn so that I can look Jess right in the eyes. Of course, this changes something. But I reach out and almost touch your cheek. Then realize that's the hand. And I hold out my left hand like I'm hoping you'll take it.
He'll take it.
And I squeeze and I say, I'll do what I need. But I hate that this is going to be the last. I'm afraid of losing you over the summer because of this. So I guess all I'm really asking, I can't ask for promises except to make sure we keep talking.
I can do that.
We're young and stupid and impulsive. Well, maybe not stupid, but you know what I mean.
She sort of has a frown, like killing someone does not go under the norm of impulsive.
No.
Suddenly there's like this tiny instant judgment back.
Okay. So, and then he continues after he sees that. And I said, even when we're not fighting monsters. Yeah. And we've been through some shit this year. And we've lived through it.
We have.
And then I just, Earl just leans forward, gives you a quick kiss on the cheek, and says, why don't you go and I'll park the car. Maybe we can have dinner later.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
So, and then when Jess gets out of the car, Earl is going to drive, but not to the parking lot. He's going to drive around in circles for an hour or so, which is really wasteful for the environment.
Super piss off Derek. And he comes walking up. No, I want to follow Ollie for a bit. We're coming near the close of the session. You head back to your room, I assume? Or are you going somewhere else?
Is it? I think Ollie would like to. What time is it?
I think after everything that's going on, like it's starting to get dark.
Yeah.
Right, but the sun's setting. We'll say the sun is setting right now. So it's like 8. Well, it's Central Time Zone, so 9 o'clock at night.
Sun's getting real low.
There you go.
Sorry, Ragnarok. I think Ollie wants to go off and start a fight, have something attack him. he needs to let some.
Oh, so he would probably
Go walking.
walk away from him, go walking. Like, we have a long shot of you walking along the sidewalk on the campus. That you just get cut across the grass. You go past what we all know is your dorm, right? And up on the third floor, all the lights are out. Whereas the first and second floor, there are lights on, scattered lights on. Third floor, all the lights are out except for one light. And there's like a strobe light that's coming there. That's Jack's room, right? Some kind of party going on there. And you'll walk off across the campus trying to look for some trouble, right? I don't think you're going to find much trouble in Dead Week. There's some parties going on, so maybe you could go pick a fight there, but that's all off campus. The frat houses, all the Greek life is off campus. Where do you want to go?
Are there any like Buffy style multiple graveyards?
Sure. There's got to be a graveyard around. It's Pine Box, right? You don't name your town Pine Box and not have any. So I will kind of glance at our map here. I think that if you were to walk past Ravens Athletic Complex and kind of walk up there, probably be a small off the road, not far from the baseball fields, will be a small pet cemetery.
I think Ollie's now just sitting on a grave with a knife and just staring out into the dark, waiting for something, anything to. I mean, maybe nothing comes and he's just there, just boiling with.
Nice. Cool. Anybody have any final scenes as we close out this semester and take a month break? I want to make sure everybody's had a chance to close anything out if they needed a scene.
No, I feel sad for the third floor of the boys' dorm. Events never conspired to allow us to help them.
To help out with that mono outbreak.
That's okay, guys. Don't worry. All those guys will,
We'll get there.
a lot of them flunked out. So new semester, everything will be fine in the fall. Don't worry about it. All right. Cool. Let's bring our session to a close. And we have some questions at the end here, and then we'll do our roses and thorns. The end of session, the keeper asked the following questions. Did you conclude the current mystery?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. Did you save someone from certain death or worse?
No.
Yeah, I think so. No. I mean...
Oh, Ariel. Wasn't she possessed by a demon?
Well, this session.
Yes.
Previous session, yes. Previous session, we
That's right. That's right. So no, we did not.
We didn't kill Matt to cover up.
She could have been eaten by a monster.
Or got
I was going to say, if you consider saving her from Derek.
the new XP loop, you guys.
Derek's mundane XP horse.
People would just slap his face away, saying, "No, XP."
I'm gonna say no, but that is very funny to me. By the way, Alex, if you can find the XP horse that you drew way back in the day, I would love to see it again. Did we learn something new and important about the world?
Yes.
Good. I was hoping you'd say that, because if not, I got some shit to work on, because I felt like you did. Did you learn something new and important about one of the hunters?
Yep.
Yeah.
Except for Jessica.
What?
What is it?
I'm the expert. I know everything. I didn't know that.
I'll come talk to you next time.
Okay.
Promise.
So you concluded the current mystery. You did learn something new, and so that is 3. So Mark II XP.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And, we will do our traditional roses and thorns. Is everybody good now? If anybody needs a 2-minute break, that's fine. Just say so. Otherwise, we'll just knock it out. We're going to end on time. Gentlemen, gentle ladies. This is crazy. It's 2 games in a row that have ended on time. If we do this within 15 minutes, that's a streak. So we'll start with thorns. Thorns are critical feedback, things that work on, things you, during the next month, I can obsess over and make perfect.
I got one.
For the next session. All right. Jan, go for it. What thorns did you have?
It felt too short. I wanted more.
Yeah, I hear you. I was like, wait, it's already 3? Crap.
I mean, we could have gone for a little bit longer. It's fine.
I hear
You say that kind of like eyes half.
Yeah, you're the one who started off going, I'm a little tired, guys. I've been doing LARP and I drove all over the country. And maybe you drove through a few countries, which to me blows my mind, but to you guys, it's like
we were still in Belgium, but
okay, all right, cool beans.
But yeah, no.
Any other thorns?
I've seen that look from my son. Obviously, like, yeah, I could have another story.
Just falling out.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I have a thorn. It's
What's
like
your thorn?
crazy amount of weeks until we play again.
God, me too, dude. I looked at that. My calendar is so sad at the lack of this. Like, there's a part of me that's like, no, wait, we could do like onesie twosie over the summer stuff. Need to tap the vein. Okay. Anything else, Alex?
Nope.
Cool.
We're set for the 22nd, right?
Our next session, I will look officially because I know I will say something. I think it's the 22nd. So I remember it being almost an entire month. That would be on the 22nd of July.
I know that we're to blame for most of those.
Well, when you say that, I have to say, yeah, it's true.
I also am.
That's true. There we go.
Not just our fault.
It's my Euro friends. You guys go out of doors during the July month and do things. Whatever. Says the guy.
Well, for one thing, like I know I just said that we came back from a LARP today, but we are leaving for a LARP on Tuesday. You
guys are terrible. I love it. Cool. Let's stick with
thorns. Yes.
Thorns. Yes. Paul, what thorns did you have? I'm saving Jules for last because I always save the best for last.
No, not really. I am concerned, but we can figure out a way to cosmetically fix it because I don't want Derek to not be able to ride in the mystery machine.
We can absolutely hand wave to say when by the fall semester he can ride in the thing. That can even be like a cool story element.
It was a good thing to point out Derek's weakness some more.
Yep.
Oh, hey, crosses, nice. No, I don't want to ride in your car.
Yep, but that's all. I didn't have any real thorns. I think we've all been pretty wimpy thorn people today.
Oh yes,
Jen, come on, save us with thorns.
Oh, some kind of valid criticism. I don't have any.
All right, dang it.
Brutal blow from Jules.
Here it comes.
I like how Rich thought we were gonna do a summer session, a summer break session.
No, I thought that was the thing I thought.
Yeah, we'll just do zoom around and do little scenes and everything. It was like, no.
Yeah.
No, we still have way too much shit going on.
No, there's no.
Yeah, that was a good call. So we'll stick with you, Jules. You get to give some roses.
Yay! I had fun. I liked twisting the knife on Earl, which he clearly also enjoyed. Lots of drama. Yay!
Yeah.
It was good times, and it was also nice. you know, we're powering up, but there are some kind of problems that will always be there, no matter how many powers you have. Like people inconveniently dying, and you feeling bad about it, and other people turning out to be vampires. So that's good. I like that.
Cool. Thank you.
I also like that Jan has like the perfect, like, cool vampire beard, mustache, goatee thing going on.
How long is that going to last? Are you going to keep your vampire look for a whole month so that you can have it next time we play?
I think I'll probably keep it for about a month. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Jen, what roses did you have to hand out?
My goodness, there was so much drama and awkwardness and oh shit, what are we gonna do now? Kind of moments. And that was difficult, but also great. So I really liked that. I enjoyed the end with Nelson and Bishop.
Good.
Really well. I liked tying that back around to the meta plot. That was good. This adventure was very like tying back to the original plot. So
it's back on the train.
Back on the train. And the call out to the roost. That was good.
I love all the side chatter of like, okay, remind me of the roost.
Yeah, because like, oh, that's when you started that fire. Oh yeah, that was a great idea.
It was. It worked out perfectly.
We were so innocent then.
Just starting fire.
Yeah.
But just to pocket in with your rose, Jen, because it's perfectly timed, but like Tekla listing out all the crazy shit you guys have done was so great. I was like, yeah, keep going. This is good.
It was I also enjoyed just going like, yeah, vampires, by the way, and like, because you know.
Good stuff. Thanks, Jen. Paul, what roses did you have?
As both people have said so far, this was, if not our most, at least our second most Monster Hearts of the Week game ever.
I would say most, because we also had like a glimmer of potential PvP, which is also very Monster Hearts.
Yes, and an actual vampire.
An actual vampire
on the team this time.
Who may or may not sparkle.
No, does not.
If
he's not been established yet.
That's my hard move. I make it sparkle.
If he sparkles, I will kill it with fire.
I'm going for a True Blood theme here. It's fine.
Well, if it's up, it's the dice to decide. Roll a 5. You're gonna sparkle.
And then also as a result, Jessica will get permanent bunny ears.
How's the timer on that?
Oh, the timer's pretty good, dude. We just got 2 slices left. It's coming, guys. That's my ultimate hard move. That's the convergence.
Yep. The convergence is permanent bunny ears. That's really. I mean, my rose was very general, but yeah, I really dug this session. And thanks for leaning in, Jules.
Anytime.
Alex, what roses did you have?
Finally getting to find out that Derek was a vampire. And I absolutely loved Earl and Jessica's last scene in the car. Just, that was, yeah. And all the twisting the knife. On Earl. It was, very painful and so good. And also one last thing, Tekla during the whole interview and her just taking charge. That was so good.
Yeah, was good. That's good. Jan, what roses did you have, sir?
I would like to thank you for giving me the opportunity to monstrous a bit. I mean, Derek has been growing towards it for some time, of course, but now that now that the mechanics finally caught up, and it was nice to have that little moment and the revelations, and that was fun. It was good. I had lots of good times.
I got a few roses, and I've got 5 minutes, so my roses will be equal to or less than 5 minutes, and I can eat on time. First of all, great session. I told you guys coming in, I was a little nervous. I had a couple mediocre sessions over the weekend, sort of like good stuff, bad stuff, but I didn't feel like my emceeing was strong, so I was starting to feel like I didn't want to get the yips, and so I was nervous. I wanted this session to be good. I also knew that, that there's this strong possibility of the President Nelson reveal, and so I'm like, I hope this goes well, because if they revolt on President Nelson's viewpoint, then that sucks. But you guys really you guys unloading on President Nelson was so good. It was so a thing I wanted to see on TV. I could just see the camera. It was almost like, the goal line stance, right? If you guys coming after Nelson there, and then the badge thing. Jen, I'm glad you just went for it. Yep, I'm gonna lay off the badges. That was so cool. And
I in my head canon, at least, that was every badge is just one of those thunk noises on the TV show, of course.
Yeah,
the overdone sound editing.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's like a Philip Glass routine kind of going on. Yes, totally.
A slightly slow motion rattle as it hits.
Yeah, every one of those badges landed with a massive thunderous noise.
They did Fellowship of the Rings. I'm just gonna slam down.
And also in my mind, about that moment, that's one of those things where if seeing it on television, I would have thought, how did she pull those out in numerical order? But then I'm totally okay with it. But
it's a moment wait, no, I can see that. That would be on a Judd Apatow version of our game where there's some stuff out of order. I am so happy you guys gravitated towards Matt the Inept. I really think that a lot of that grew up from the side chatter on okay, good, they're glomming on to
his playbook, by the way.
The Inept. Well, we don't have a PC mundane now, so we've got an NPC mundane. Matt it was fun. It was fun having that scene on the porch with Tekla and Matt, and him trying to just rationalize all of this and be cool with it, quote unquote.
I liked the X-Men rambling. I felt like it was for me.
It was 100% for you, because that was all legit X-Men comic book rambling.
I know.
Yep.
As a player, I was the keeper. I just kind of fell into that space of I'm just going to keep talking and see what Jen does, because I know Jen's bold enough to interrupt me. So I'm glad that went. That paid off so well. I got to mention Chuck Austin and X-Men. That tickles me to no end. I really liked Ollie's confrontation with Derek. That was so hot. That really just popped. It was a great, great scene. And then also really, really enjoyed Earl and Jessica's heartfelt moments. The two of those juxtaposed so good. So good. It's yeah, you killed a demon, but guess what? Derek is a vampire, and how you going to deal with that? And yeah, you killed a demon, but you actually killed a dude. And it just seemed you guys deal with that fallout was so worth the whole session. Sure, we didn't have a summer, but we will do that after a month. We'll do the what did you do on your summer vacation the next time that we play, and that will definitely be a thing. And I'm talking quickly because it's almost the end of the hour, so I'm going to end it now. So the time. Yay me.
Bye.